Hello everyone and welcome to another Hallow review. Tonight I am reviewing Herbaceous by Pencil First Games. It is designed by Steve Finn, produced by Eduardo Baroff, and illustrated by Beth Sobel. I do apologize if I mispronounce any of those names. And I'm actually very nervous to do this review. And I don't know that I get nervous necessarily when I do reviews, but I'm only nervous because this is such a fantastic game, and I'm nervous that I'm not going to do the game justice with my video review, and so I'm a little nervous, but I want you to know that this game is amazing from the get-go. And if you don't own it, you should go buy it because this is by far one of the most enjoyable games that we've played this year, that has come out this year. And it is such a game that is so accessible and it scales very well. It is from 1 to 4 players, and each player count experience is fantastic. The solo variant is very well thought out and works very well. Me and my wife play 2 players quite often. And then you have 3 or 4 players also play very well. They also include a team variant. And so it is just fantastic. It's a very quick game, 20 minutes, give or take. And they recommend ages 8 and up. I would say, a bit younger could do that. Probably around 6. The game is very simple as far as the gameplay goes, and so, but yet there's still a lot of strategy and choices to make. And so let me go ahead and show you what's in the box and talk about the components for a second, and then we'll get into the actual gameplay. So it's a fairly small, as you can see, really fairly small box, which I do like. The quality of the box, again, is fantastic. I love the kind of 2 scale. You have kind of the matte finish and the shiny finish on it. It just is awesome. And as you can see from the cover artwork, as well as the cards that I will show you, Beth Sobel is amazing. The artwork in this game is just so beautiful, and it is one of these games that is just so relaxing to play. I guess you could get a little stressed out in certain situations, but I haven't. And it's a game that's just so enjoyable to play, and the artwork makes it so enjoyable to look at while you're playing too. So anyway, what else comes in the box? You have your set of rules. There's also a separate, and I don't know if this was added after. I don't necessarily know why it wasn't included in the initial rule book, but here's the solo variant, just on a single sheet of, not paper, but has a nice gloss finish to it. It's kind of the same material as the rule book, but anyway, it's separate. And so I guess it is convenient, I guess, just to have that out for a solo variant, have it separate. So we have that. And the rules are very well laid out. It's just very well documented. You have nice illustrations. You have the different variants that are used. And so I just really enjoy the rule book. Have no qualms with any of it. Here's the box. That's what the back looks like. You have the insert in there. All the cards fit very well as the rule book. They have the nice little indent here. So everything fits in the box very well. You have your cards. And you can see the quality of the cards are very well, they're very well produced, very good quality cards. Have a nice kind of linen finish to them. Just beautiful. Flip some of these over. And you can start seeing some of the excellent artwork on these different herbs. And it's so simple, but I don't know what it is. It just, oh, I love it. So we have all these cards. And I apologize, I don't remember how many. We can open up the rule book here. 63 herb cards, and there's 7 different variety. And then there are actually 9 special herb cards that we'll talk about in a little bit. Then we have the container cards. Each player is going to get 4 of those, so there's 16 total. And each of those set of 4 containers have different colored backs, as you can see here. And each of the colors has a little cardboard, what do they even call those? They have the garden markers is what it's called in the rule book. Just cardboard pieces. Personally, I don't see, there's not a whole lot of actual use for them in my opinion. But it's nice. I'm glad they included them. It fits the theme very well. And I think some people like it as kind of a divider from the community garden. In the setup, you can see here, each player will have their 4 container cards. And then they have their little garden marker. And then this is the community garden. So it kind of separates the two. There's also this special bonus card, the Herb Biscuit. And let's see what else. Oh yes, we have the player aid cards as well. There are 4. They are double-sided. This is each side of the card shown here. So again, very, very simple. The little icons and everything very clear. I've taught this now to a few different people, and everyone picks up on the game very easily. So very easy to learn and very easy to play. So what happens in the game, let me kind of clean up here a little bit. The general concept of the game is on your turn, the first thing you're going to do is possibly take herbs from your garden and the community garden and or any combination and pot them into one of your 4 containers. At the beginning of the game, you don't do that though, so you'll go ahead and go to the second step and you're going to simply draw the top card. Now you have a choice, a simple choice. You put it here in your private garden or in the community garden. If you put it in the community garden, the other players have access to this and can harvest it, for lack of a better word, harvest that or pot it, as the game says, into one of their pots. But what's going to happen is if you put it here, the next one you draw is going to go in your private garden. If I would have put that in my private garden, then the rosemary would have ended up in the community garden. That's my turn. Then it goes to the next person. They draw a card. Rosemary, they see I have rosemary. Maybe they'll keep that for themselves then. And then draw another one. And the other card goes in the community garden. And you go back and forth, back and forth. But as more cards pile up and the deck starts running out, you have this essence of, okay, I need to start potting plants eventually. And so the different pots and choices that you have, the first pot, you're going to score points according to the number of cards, herbs that you can put in this pot that are all the same. So if you get 5 that are the same, then you'll end up with 18 points. And when you harvest those or pot them, there's different ways you can do it. You can put it underneath the pot. We have kind of just come to the conclusion that we place it just right over it like this. So that shows that I have 5. I harvested or potted 5 of those herbs, and I'll have 18 points. And I will no longer add to this anymore. So it has to all be potted at one time. So this pot is all different. They have to be all different. This one, you're going to be potting pairs of cards or herbs. And this one is a little bit different. This is our glass jar. And let's see if we can find, I should have pulled some of these out beforehand. Let me find, where are the special herbs? Okay, here we go. Here's one. So there's 3 different ones. There's a 1, a 2, and a 3. And they'll have the numbers on there. Now these special herb cards can only go in the glass jar. Other herbs, you could put a sage in the glass jar if you want, or a saffron, but you're trying to get some of these bonus cards, because what it does is these bonus cards, or these special herbs, are going to give you that amount of points. So if you put a mint in here, you're going to get 1 bonus point. If you put 3 herbs in there, then you get 6 points, plus the special herb bonus points. So if I had 3 cards in there and only 1 special herb mint, then I would get 7 points. Now the other thing is, if you are able to put in the glass jar a 1, a 2, and a 3 first before anyone else, then you get the special bonus herb biscuit. 5 points. And it says right on there, for the first player to score a glass jar with a 1, 2, and 3. So that's a little bonus. And that's basically the game. Some of the other variants that you'll play with is the team variant, where instead of, as you're drawing cards from the middle, you're actually going to place in 3 different locations. You're going to draw, put 1 in yours, draw, put 1 in the community, and the other one's going to end up in your partner's private garden. And then you just add up points from your pots as normal and add up your points together. Or there's a variant where you're the expert team variant, where the team scores whichever partner scored the lowest, that amount of points is what they scored that round. The deck of cards, for 4 players, you play with all of them. With 3, you'll take out 12, and 2 players, you'll take out 24 cards to scale the game a bit. And what else? The solo variant, again, I think it works very, very well. And what it does is you have a discard pile, you have the community garden, and your private garden. You start with 1 in the discard, 2 there, and 3 there randomly. And you place in the 3 different locations. You're going to draw 1, you're going to have to discard 1, put 1 in the community garden and the private garden. If at any time you get a 5th card into the community garden, you have to discard all of those cards. So it's a very, very interesting mechanism, and it works really, really well. I had a lot of fun playing the solo variant. The first time doing it, I believe I got beginning planter, 37 to 41, somewhere in that range. I may have been less than 37, but anyway, it is a very, very fun solo variant. Lastly, if that was not enough, you can get the Herbaceous flavor pack. It's a little mini expansion. It includes 3 cards, as well as these 2 instruction cards. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Let me show you what those 3 cards look like. We have cinnamon, star anise, and peppercorn. Again, beautiful illustrations. And as they come up, exchange 1 herb from your private garden with 1 from the community garden. Put 1 regular herb from your private garden into any container following the normal restrictions. This does not count as potting. And take 1 herb from the private garden of a player on your left. After all have taken a card, add them to your private gardens. So just a little bit to mix up the game a little bit. And again, these are not needed whatsoever, but they do add another fun element to it. But honestly, me and my wife don't play with that expansion when we play just two player. And we just really, really love this game. Definitely one of our top games from 2017. And I really just can't say things good enough about the game. So that is Herbaceous. Hopefully, it gives you a good idea of what the gameplay, what the game is, the amazing artwork and quality of the components that you get with the game. And like I said, definitely one that I would highly recommend for couples. It's a great two-player game. If you like solo games, you pick it up for that. It's a great card game with teams as well, and so it just fits that 1 to 4 players, all the different player counts really well. And the gameplay is just so simplistic as far as drawing a card and laying a card down that it can be picked up so quickly, and yet it's just so fun. And it's that push your luck element of, well, I could pot now and it would be okay, but oh, if it makes it around the table just one more time, I could pot it and get that many more points. And so a lot of fun with Herbaceous. I say go buy it now. Fantastic game, and that is how Lou sees it.